And we want to welcome everyone on YouTube to another of our weekly Shabbat teachings. This is Kazakh Aliyahu Yasharal. And this is just a word. Let's see where we are. Trying to get this thing going. All right, here we go. So, all right, we got to get this link on to Just a Word TV. All right, just bear with us for a minute or a few as we wow. Where am I? Okay, trying to set this up. We are looking today at the end time. Worldwide worship of Hasatan. How Satan will deceive the whole world into worshiping him. That's what we are looking at today, family. Yeah. So, a little tardy in starting here. Just some technical details that we have to iron out. Always the little things that we got to do before. Yeah. So we are almost there. Yep. Okay. Almost there. Okay. Well, looks like we're ready right now. All right, welcome once again to another of our teachings. Today we'll be looking at the end time worldwide worship of Hasatan, the great battle of the world versus the word. How Satan uses the world to contradict the word. All right. So the Most High uses his people to bring forth his word. He uses his royal priesthood, his holy nation, to bring forth his righteousness over the earth. Satan uses his children, uses the nations, he uses religion in order to pollute the world and get the world to worship him. Because remember, he is the adversary. We have to remember why we are here on this earth. We are here to give splendor to the Most High, to show forth his praise. Hasatan, the adversary, is there to give us an obstacle that we have to overcome. So in the end, we overcome, we will be in the kingdom of the Most High forever. If we do not overcome, then we will be in eternal damnation, as the Messiah called it. Yes? That is it. So Satan is doing his job as the adversary. And so he uses the nations to carry out his wickedness. All right? So Satan's task is to deceive the whole world. I didn't even I didn't even I didn't start recording it. Good thing you told me. Is Shamuel there? Is Shamuel here? Let me see. Shamuel, not here, absent. El Pedro, can you read for me, please? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Revelations 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
So Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. So we have to understand that the world is under threat of deception, because they get the idea from believers when you try to tell them about deception, when you try to tell them about errors, when you try to tell them about truth, they seem to rubbish it, thinking that no obstacle can come between them if they just say they believe in a God, or if they say they are worshiping the Almighty, if they even know the name of the Almighty, if they even are walking in the way. They do not believe that Satan can throw some even simple obstacles that can get us derailed and get us and prevent us from entering the kingdom. Satan deceived the whole world. And when I was in the Yahweh assembly, an elder there used to say, Satan has over 6,000 years experience, and we just came on the earth thinking that we cannot be deceived, thinking, oh, that is nothing, man. No, man. When you tell them something, they say, oh, no, that is nothing. Everything is important, because Hasatan throws big deceptions and small deceptions in our way. So we are there looking for the big deceptions, and he just throws in a little one. And then the little ones accumulate over time, because here how it is with truth. Truth leads to truth. And if you reject a truth, you will be accepting a lie. And when you accept a lie, it is easy for lies to build on lies. Lies cannot be built on truth. Lies need lies to build on. Whether they be big lies or small lies, a lie can build on a lie. So you have to reject every single lie. So you cannot say, okay, for example, this week I was speaking with someone about the name JC. And someone was telling them that, hey, the Bible was translated into English. JC is the English name for God. Oh boy. JC is the English name for God. Yes? JC is a lie. So because we don't want to reject the lie, we find an excuse to accept it. And so deception now can be built upon that lie. Yes? Every single lie has to be rejected. All right? Satan has deceived. It didn't even say deceive the world. It says the whole world. All right? Because, as we said before, Satan seeks worship. It is worship that he seeks. Read, please, praise blow.
Isaiah 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Allur. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. That is what Hasatan wants to do. He's the adversary. So he presents a counterfeit version of the Most High so he can be like the Most High. Remember, we said that he's the adversary that he's sent to deceive us, to get us away from the Most High, to even trick us into deceiving him, because the Most High's people will be a people who are in wisdom. These people are not simple. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because you seek not knowledge. His people seek knowledge. His people seek him with all their hearts. And when they seek him, they shall find him. Why? He will give them the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to find him. But with Hasatan, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. That is where the deceiver reigns supreme. When you are simple, just taking things simply, not being prudent to dig into everything and to prove all things, when you are mocking the truth and mocking the way, or when you are fools who hate knowledge, that is where Satan thrives. So we have to be diligently seeking truth. We have to be diligent truth seekers, or we will continue in our deception. Because don't get it twisted, all of us have been deceived and are still deceived. Why do we come here week in, week out? It's to try to come out of the deception. It's to try to find more truths to get us out further and further out of the deception. And so we cannot sit here and say we are not still deceived. We don't know. Only time will tell. But what do? We keep digging and digging until we can come out of this mine. You know, when people are trapped in the mines and people are digging to try to get them out. Yeah, we are digging from the inside. Yeah, trying to reach out to as much light as possible. That is the life that we live, because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. The earth is in the hand of the wicked, so from you were born. From you were born. You are in the hand of the wicked. You are in deception from you were born. All right? And last week, we looked at, very important, we looked at the meaning of Leviathan, and we showed that it was the dragon, which was the equivalent of Babylon. Okay? The equivalent of Babylon. You see, the enemy, Hasatan, manifests himself in his children. He manifests himself through Babylon, because Babylon is the tool he uses in order to get the world into deception and in order to get the world to worship him. All right? So, the dragon, the same as Babylon. All right? So, we just want to look at some of the scripture that we use are scriptures that we have used several times before. So don't mind if you hear things that you've heard before. All right? We're going to use some of last week's. What's happening here? Yeah? You will come back? Oh. Oh, what's wrong with it? Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Are you seeing me?
No, I cannot. I don't know whether others can.
Ah. Some crushing has gone on here. I can hear you, but I can't see anything.
We can hear you, but cannot see you.
Your video is blocked, Brother C.
Yeah, I see that. Let me see something. What? I can't wait for the whole time. Oh. Wow. All right. So, can somebody?
No, we're not seeing you.
Where was I again? Oh boy, this is crazy. You serious? All right. Can someone please speak, please? I'm going to have to restart this machine.
Yes. Is Brother Mahad there?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. As today's study about the dragon that deceived the whole world. And the Satan himself wanting to be like the Most High. He deceived the whole world, as we have in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. It goes along with today's study, where we find that in verse 4, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believeth not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Alua, should shine unto them. We see it and we understand that Satan has blinded the mind of unbelievers. Now, who are the unbelievers? Unbelievers are the people who know the truth but do not obey the truth. They hear the word and they do not submit to the word. Most of whom go to church, but they do not obey the scriptures. They do not obey the command. So they've been blinded so that the light of the good news should not shine in them by understanding the purpose of which they were created. So it is very important to understand that Satan rules the world. If we do not understand that, then we will not even be able to understand that which is happening today. Everything that is happening today is a lie in order to prepare people for destruction, and people do not understand this. Satan, the God of this world, has prepared many people, those who are his allies, so that they could bring forth the word of destruction amongst the nations of the world. Brother Maha.
I think he's back.
Okay.
Or continue until he's fully back.
So, therefore, we need to be prepared to understand that we can be able to withstand all the lies. I was actually seeing in the news right now what's happening around your world, the United States, that people who are unvexed are the ones now who are spreading the disease, which cannot be true. And people are being paid money so that they can receive the vax. I mean, it's so filthy that people can go to that extent. Why? Because the God of this system, the wicked one, wants to go into destruction, as he knows his time is short. He wants to go into destruction with many. So we need to be aware. Brother Maha, can you continue, please?
Okay, and we also have to look on Revelation 12 and verse 7. that which Satan is doing, it is not something that he just started, because it was from he was in heaven. We look in verse 7. No war rose in heaven, Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon. And the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. And what we see, he came on earth, and he tried the very same thing with the Messiah. He was saying to him, bow down to me and give me worship, and I will give you the kingdom on earth. Listen, he says, kingdom on earth and their glory. And the Messiah, let it be known, thou shalt worship only the Most High. So what we see here is coming now down to men, doing the very same thing, and it would appear like he is winning. That is why these last days we must understand that the whole world has been deceived. The scripture goes further and said, if the Most High didn't shorten his days, even his elect would be perished. That means we are not looking at a small Satan. We are looking at a wicked and a dangerous Satan. When we look and see that Michael and other angels fought him, the scripture did not say Michael only. It says Michael and other angels fought him, and he lost the fight. So now what do we have in our small bodies to stand against that wicked devil? Nothing. So we have to put everything, all the trust in the Most High, because he's the one from in the beginning that destroy the plans of the enemy. He is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So we must not in any way try to face the enemy on our own. We need to deny ourselves so the Spirit may dwell within us, that we may be victorious. Because indeed, when we look around us today, it is in fact, the world have been deceived. When we go and talk to people on the street, you are wondering, what are they seeing? What are they hearing? Why are they still living like this? Even though it is being presented to us that yes, what is going on here is the end of this age. So we hear who comes week after week, let it not be found among any of us, nothing like unbelief, because it is so real. We are at the end of the age, and we are going to realize that. Let us keep on trusting. It is all about faith. That which is about to happen, it is by faith. So let's practice seeing all those things from now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let me continue now. Okay, we're saying that we're going to be bringing some things from last week as a foundation again, because one teaching connects to the other. And we have Genesis 11, 8 to 9, Babylon scattered. Babylon scattered and brought their teachings worldwide, because remember, we're saying that the Satan, he pollutes the earth through Babylon, through his children, manifested today as Babylon. So Genesis 11, 8 to 9. This was speaking about the time at the Tower of Babel. Read, please.
Genesis 11:8. So Yahuwah scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahuwah did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did Yahuwah scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth.
All right, so remember that these people were building the tower because they wanted to reach to the Most High, to fight him. According to the book of what, Joshua? They actually wanted to fight the Most High. Okay? That is the whole intention of Babylon. And Satan's children never ever like the Most High and never ever like the righteous seed of the Most High, which is Yasharal. All right? So they brought their teachings worldwide, and they brought the same notion of hatred against the Most High. So when they come together, they have one heart. They are in one accord. And that one accord is to fight against the Most High and to destroy his seed, his children, the children of Yasharal. Psalm 83.
Verse 1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Allure. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Allure.
Yes, continue.
Continue. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
These enemies of the Most High, they unite and conspire and lift up their heads, proudly lifting up their heads against the Most High. Verse 3.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come.
All right, that's what they do.
Say?
Yeah, go continue.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yashael may be no more in remembrance.
All right, that is what they do. They try to cut off the name of Yasharal, that the name, this people, will be no more in remembrance. All right? These are the nations that were scattered over the four corners of the earth, and these are the nations who come together as Babylon to fight against the Most High and his people. Verse 5.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
And there we have the list of nations afterwards. There's a delay. Then we have the list of nations afterwards, headed by Edom, who is now leading or heading the world. All right? The nations who come together and conspire. So the whole point being that Babylon is that Satan works through Babylon to achieve his end on this world, to be worshipped. Okay? So the dragon, who is Satan, is manifested in this world. Let's see how he is manifested in this world. Revelation 12, verse 3.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. 13, verse 1.
All right, so that is the manifestation of the dragon. That is the manifestation of the dragon. There's a delay. Is Shamuel back as yet? That's the manifestation of the dragon. 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Okay. All right, go to verse 1.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
So Satan is manifesting this life in this time with a beast of 7 heads and 10 horns, just as the dragon appeared in heaven. So this right here that we're seeing, it's Babylon manifesting on earth, 7 heads and 10 horns. Let's go to Revelation 17, verse 3.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
All right, so a woman was sitting upon this 7 heads and 10 horns beast, having the names full of names of blasphemy. And we're gonna see who or what the woman is. And this full of names of blasphemy is very important. Because the woman is the woman who gave us Christianity. The woman is the woman who gave us. Yeah? The woman is the woman who gave us our religion. The religion that, is popular over this earth. The religion that we're trying to tell people that the names that you've been given are pagan names, they're idols, and they refuse to listen. The woman was full of names of blasphemy. All right? So, in Revelation 13:1 here, we are seeing, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me not go there, all right? So let me continue now. So Satan achieves worship through the beast. Read, please.
Verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
All right. They worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast. So the world worship the dragon. That's very important. The world worship the dragon. Yeah? Almost everybody in this world is worshiping Satan in some shape or form. Most of them unknowingly. If you worship God, you are unknowingly worshiping Satan. If you worship the Lord, you are unknowingly worshiping Satan. If you worship Jesus, you are unknowingly worshiping Satan. Full of names of blasphemy. You are using one of the names of blasphemy. Yes? Satan has deceived the whole world. The problem is, we came into this world. We were given a religion by our parents. Our parents got it from their parents, who got it from their parents, and their. Nobody knew when this thing was corrupted. So we accepted it as being right, not knowing that it is deception. Now, the Most High has opened the eyes of many of his people to bring other people to know that, hey, this is a deception, and even to explain out the deception. What do most people do? They close their minds to it. You start to explain it. Oh, mind you touch that name Jesus. Mind you bring destruction or a curse upon yourself by touching that name Jesus. Or they say, oh, these are false prophets. Be careful what you listen to, this and that. All right? Deception. The whole world is worshiping Hasatan. Yeah? And we're going to show you how he uses the beast to get the worship. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. That is why the beast is also of 7 heads and 10 horns like the dragon. So the dragon gave the power to the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. I think I'm going to look at this further down. Who is like unto the beast, all right? To show you how easy it is to worship the beast. All right, might as well just look at it right now. They worship the dragon which gave power to the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Many, many people are worshiping the beast today. Many people are taking this thing in their arms, and what are they saying? Oh, we all have to take it. What can we do? We all have to take it. How are we going to eat? Oh, I want to travel. When you do all of those things, you worship the beast. Worship of the beast is not bowing down. People, when these people say worship of the beast, they think they picture a beast standing and you're bowing down to the beast. I worship you, beast. Nah. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? If you are saying, oh, we can't do any better, but take it, what are you saying there? You are saying that the Most High, the beast, is more powerful than the Most High. Just think about that. What are we going to eat? And what did the Messiah say, Pedro, when he said, do not worry about what you shall eat or what you shall put on, right?
That even the birds of the field, they do not toil.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what do we say? Well, how are we going to feed our kids, our children? I have to feed my child. That is saying, who is like unto the beast? Yes? Nobody's able to defeat him. Yeah? So guess what? I have to bow to him and I have to take that thing in my arm. That is worship of the beast. And so the whole world is worshiping the beast, almost, only a few. And we're going to see who those few are and how hard it is attained to the few. All right? So Satan achieves worship through the beast. But the religious second beast causes the world to worship the first beast. This is how it works. There are two beasts in Revelation. The first beast is the beast of the kingdoms, and I'm going to show how it works. And then the second beast is the religious beast. And the religious beast brings the world to worship the kingdoms of the world. And that is not strange. We see this happening daily, and so a lot of us are marveled at how we see, for example, Christianity, how many Christians are bowing to this. Christianity, vaccine centers, Christian pastors wooing people, Christians, they are the leaders in this trust. And so we see the scriptures that's perfectly coming to light. All right? Perfectly coming to light. The religious second beast causes the world to worship the first beast. Revelation 13:11-12. Let's see what I'm saying here. Let's see if I'm talking foolishness. Revelation 13:11-12. Read, please.
Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast. Sorry, let me go 12 again. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
This is the second beast, the religious beast, that causes the earth to worship the beast that is comprised of the kings of the earth. This is what we see happening today with this jabbing thing. This is what we see happening. The religious folks bringing in the people for the kingdoms of the earth. What a religion. And people are thinking that religion is authentic, not understanding that it is Satan's religion. All right? But we were saying earlier that almost all the world will be worshiping Satan. And we're going to see that only a few people are going to be exempt in the end when the pressure piles on. And it's really sad to be saying these things and to thinking about families and friends and looking and seeing people, and you're seeing people not caring about Yahuwah, not caring about anything, and knowing that in the end, what you're seeing is their actual demise right before your very eyes, because they are actually worshiping the beast and they don't know it and are rejecting the Most High in order to worship the beast. Anyone you say, we just want things to go back to normal. These people are worshiping the beast. because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the earth is wicked. So how can you want it to go back to normal? All right? You should be looking for the return of the Messiah to restore the earth in righteousness. That is what you should be looking for. But what are you looking for? To go back to the wickedness. You are worshiping the beast. Anyone who wants things to go back to normal, you are worshiping the beast, and you're going to see why. Because we're going to see those who are not worshiping the beast. Read, please.
Verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
All who dwell upon the earth shall worship him. All who dwell upon the earth. Everybody, everyone who dwells upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life. So what does that mean? Only a few people are not worshiping Satan or will not be worshiping Satan in the end. Only a few. All right? Brother Gabriel. Brother Gabriel is here.
Yeah, yes, I am.
You able to read? You ready to read?
Yes.
Thank you, Brother Pedro, but there is a delay that is actually affecting the coordination. All right, Pedro?
Thank you. Most welcome.
Yeah,
brother.
thank you. Yeah, so here we are now. Let's hope that Gabriel's part will be okay. So, all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So we have to now see whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. Yes, because everyone else will be worshiping the beast. So let's see what it takes for our names to be written in the Lamb's book of life. Let's see how easy it is or how hard it is, whatever. Let's see whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. And for that, we go to Hiseon, the book of Revelation 3, verse 1 to 6. Read, please.
And unto the angel of the church of the assembly in Sardis write, these things said he that at the seventh spirit of Elua, and the 7 stars, I know thy works, that thou adst a name that thou livest and art dead.
Continue.
Be watchful, and strengthen the things which remain, that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before Elua.
All right, so
Remember-
these Sardis right now are those whose names are going to be written in the Lamb's book of life, and we're going to see what it requires, because we have to understand what it requires here. It's not that they were perfect, it's that their works were not found perfect. But they have to be watchful, and they have to strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. All right? Because the Messiah has not found their ways perfect. Verse 3.
Remember therefore, although hadst received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore
what?
thou
And
repent.
do what?
and repent.
And repent. Sardis is a repentant assembly. And repent means you are sorry and do not repeat that which you repented of. Yes? Hold fast
Yes.
and repent. Hold fast to that which thou hast received. So you remember the words of righteousness that you have received. You're going to hold on to it tight and repent. Continue. If therefore
thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee.
Oh
Though
boy, you see this? They will come upon thee as a thief. All right? This is what has happened to a lot of people who have taken this thing, who have been snared throughout this CV19 thing. Yes, come upon them like a thief. Yeah? And they got snared because they were not watching. Watch. And what does it mean to watch? To be alert, to be studying, to be diligently looking out, searching. A lot of us were asleep in Babylon, snoozing, sleeping, relaxing. How many of us, especially religious people, people like, for example, in Christianity, they have JC, so they are okay. Sleeping. People who follow the way, who believe that, hey, Yahuwah is working powerful in my life. So you're not like a soldier. You're not watchful. You're not, you're not diligent. You're not, you know, sometimes you talk to people and they're like so relaxed and laid back. You're like, what is this? As if they feel that their salvation is guaranteed. Yes? These are the people who the Messiah comes on. Yeah? Like a thief. And they don't know. They go through their normal lives and are being snared and they don't know because they're not watching. Verse 4.
Thou hast a few names, even in Sardis, which have not
Hold
defiled their garment.
Hold on. There are so many names. Many names?
A few.
A what?
A few names. Not a lot.
A few names. Almost the entire world is going to be worshiping Satan. Only a few will be left in the end. Verse 4.
Thou hadst a few names in Sardis, which have not defiled their garments, and they shall walk with me in white, for they are worthy.
All right, so only the few are worthy. All right? So we have to overcome. That's the whole bottom line. All right? Verse 5.
He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels.
I will not.
I will not blot out his name out of the book of life.
So what are we saying? All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of Lamb's book of life. So we see that a few are written in the Lamb's book of life. So almost all on this earth will be worshiping Satan sooner or later. This is why you see we are so strident people. That is why you see us, we have this zeal pushing. We have to even come out of Babylon. We are prepared to give up on all this and go back to living basic, non-digital life. Yes? Basic life. Even without electrical light. Unimaginable. Life without a washing machine. Unimaginable. Life without a microwave. Unimaginable. But even more unimaginable, life without a phone. Life without social media. Yeah. Yeah. This is why you have to be strident. All of those things you have to be willing to give up. What did the Messiah say? If any man is not willing to give up all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. That's it. A few names. And because we are cognizant that it is a few names, we know that the bar is very high. Just like when you're going to school and, people are, want to go to certain universities, and you know that if you don't have a certain grade, in America, I think GPA or something like that, grade point average, if you don't have a certain GPA, you cannot attend to this university that you want to go to. So you know that you have to be in the top how many percent in the country to be able to attend that university. That's it with us. We know that it is the elite whose names will be in the book of life. So we have to be strident, and we have no place for sin, and we have no place for our own desires. We have no place for deceiving others or to be deceived by others. The only place we have is for truth. That's it. Because we know if we tell people a lie, we cannot enter the kingdom. It's that people don't understand, you know. When you tell people this and people are going to them, oh, they may be false prophets. They may be. We recite Revelation 22:15 almost every day. Yes? And still don't know it by heart, by the way. It says, if you love and make a lie, you cannot enter the kingdom. So how can we be here sitting here and telling you lies? Yeah? And we fear Yahuwah with all our hearts. We're not going to tell you any lies. I'm telling you that unless we are still deceived. Okay? That's the only way.
You're breaking up a bit, brother.
You tell us lies. We'll tell you lies. We're not going to hear and tell you any lies. Or the internet became unstable. All right,
Okay.
so that's it. All right. So we see that only a few people, almost the whole world will be snared. I'm sorry to say. A lot of us who have hopes for our families, our friends, etc. If they're not walking in righteousness, it's going to be almost impossible. All right. So we have to understand that man must worship Satan before he gives his wealth. We have to understand the connection between unrighteousness, or the connection between worship and materialism and Babylon, the world of Babylon. Brother Mahar used this verse earlier. Man must worship Hasatan before he gives them his wealth. This Matthew 4:8-10. This is Babylon right here. This is how Satan works. All right? You have to worship him before you get your wealth. That is why you have to go to church and worship God. All right? And all you hear in that God church is about materialism. It's Satan giving his wealth because you worship him. Matthew 4:8-10. Read, please.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the splendor of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then said Yahushua unto him,
Hold on. The devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the splendor of them. So we have the kingdoms of the world that are to be given. And remember, we said that the first beast is the beast that is based on the kingdoms of the world, the kings of the world. And the first beast is based on worship, the religious beast. Here we have both of them here. All right? Verse 9.
and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
So contingent on us being given the wealth of this world, we have to worship Hasatan. All right? And this is what is happening today. When we are telling people you have to flee Babylon, why can't people flee Babylon? Because of the kingdoms of the earth, the materialism that the kingdoms of the earth brings, that Babylon brings. People cannot take themselves out of Babylon. We tell people, oh, you have to flee from the midst of Babylon. That's what the word says. It's time to flee. They say, no, I'm staying. Why? Their heart is in Babylon. And so you choose to remain in the midst of Babylon. It's serious. Well, if you cannot leave now, if you're physically unable, like you have some old people, it's understandable, but you are able to move. Why are you staying? All these things will I give you if you will fall down and worship me. Verse 10.
Then said Yahushua unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Yahuwah thy Elohim, and him only shalt thou serve.
You shall worship Yahuwah thy Elohim, him only shalt thou serve. So you don't serve mammon. You don't go after the things of the world, because in 1 John 2:15, I think it is, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. The most important thing there, it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love the world, hey, the ruach of the Father, the Spirit of the Father is not in you. You may think so. It's not in you. All right? So we see the combination here of worship and the kingdoms of the world. All right? So Satan receives worship through man's religions, the woman, the whore, led by the woman or the whore, as we're going to see. And Satan receives worship through the beast. So as we said before, and we said it several times over, you have to get this concept in your mind. It is religion. It's getting unstable again. It is religion which channels people to worship the beast and hence give the dragon worship. All right? So, Satan receives worship through the woman. And let's begin with Zechariah 5:5-11. All right, the vision of a woman in a basket, verse 5. Read, please.
Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, What is it?
Continue.
And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. Resemblance through all the earth. And behold,
this is an ephah. An ephah is a weight. All right, verse 7.
And behold, there was lifted up a talent.
Verse 7.
And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. And he said, This is wickedness.
So there was a woman sitting in the midst of the ephah. And he said, verse 8.
And he said, This is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof.
All right, so guess what? He put wickedness in the middle of the ephah and put the weight of the lead to seal it in. Verse 9.
Then lifted I up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings. For they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven.
There came out two women. This is the core of what we're talking about here. Two women. No, the women refer to the religious order. Two women. And this religious order is what constitute the woman, the whore of Babylon. You know, when I was looking at this first, I I got the understanding that it's two women, so that it was Catholicism and Protestantism, two branches of Christianity. But I looked at it some more and I realized that Christianity actually had three branches. It was Catholicism, Protestantism, and Eastern Orthodox. So that's three. So it couldn't be the two women. And then a couple of things came to me. And then I'm realizing now what could be a possible client for the other woman. Because we know for sure it's Christianity, the Catholics. But what I also realized is that Catholics are classified as Christians. Because when they ask what's the largest religion in the world, you have 2.8 billion. It shows you how many Catholics, how many Eastern Orthodox, and how many Protestants. So Christianity itself, and this is what Christianity is trying to do, they try to separate themselves from their mother, the Catholics. Christianity tries to separate from the Catholics. So you'll hear the SDA attacking and other denominations of Christianity attacking the Catholics, not knowing that they are one and the same, because almost everything that they had got the foundation in Catholicism. The names of blasphemy, they got it. Trinity, communion, a lot of things that they got it from Catholicism. So they are really honorary Catholics because the Catholics are their mother. But there are two women. I'm going to see the other woman that I want you to think about. And it's it should be very, very obvious to most people because of all this woman has more or less controlled the whole world. That woman is almost in control of the whole world. So we're going to look at it as well. Verse 10.
Then said I to the angel that talked with me, whither do these bear the ephor? And
So
he said unto me,
he's asking the angel, who are these two women? And the angel said, verse 11.
And he said unto me, to build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon our own base.
Shinar, of course, is let me get it in another Darby. Let me get another translation. Yeah, verse 11. Read it again in the Darby translation.
And
verse
he
11.
And he said to me, to build it a house in the land of Babylon, and to prepare a place for it, and they shall set it there on its own base.
Okay. So hear this. That is your I hear some that is
Sister
your
Desha.
Oh, sorry, that's me. Sorry.
yeah. All right, so to build it a house in the land of Babylon. So this house in the land of Babylon, this woman is the Catholic Church, the whore of Babylon. Because the other woman that was in the ephah, that was in the basket, does not have a house. And as a matter of fact, that woman is striving right now to build a house. So this house that we know, from which the world is controlled through religion, is a house that was built in the land of Babylon. Because there are a lot of people who are saying that the whore of Babylon, and in Revelation 17, it is not the Catholic Church, it is this woman. But it's very indicative that this woman must have a house. And we know the Vatican is the house that essentially monitors and controls the religious order of the entire world. Okay? All right, so let's look at the house in Shinar, the house in Babylon. And we'll go to Revelation 17, 1-6. And I usually have a a diagram for this, and I don't have it today. Naughty me. Revelation 17. Oh, 1 to 6. Let me get. The great prostitute and the beast. Go, verse 1, please.
And there came one of the seven angels with the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters,
Continue.
with whom the kings of the committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
All right, so here's the thing. The religious beast causes the kings of the earth to commit fornication because the religious beast leads the people to the kings of the earth. The original believers in the scriptures, they were the enemies of the religious order of the nations of the time. They used to be in hiding and they were persecuted. But now today we have a religion that is in bed with the kings of the earth. Anytime you see a faith that is in bed with the kings of the earth, that is a lie. True believers cannot be in unison, cannot be in harmony with the kingdoms of the earth, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the true believers will be walking set apart in righteousness, which is in total opposition to the way or the order of the world. So the true believers will not be in accordance with the way of the world. It is why Christianity is false, because Christianity is there ushering things back to normal, following the dictates of the wicked of this world. All right? Verse 3.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
I didn't prepare this Revelation 7:3. Why didn't I? Let me see if I can get it quickly, get a picture of it quickly. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Scarlet colored beast. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to get a picture of it to show. No, I want to see Here, I got a picture with it right now. Let me show the picture. Where is that picture? There's one there with the. All right. So we have let me get it here. Yeah, the scarlet colored beast. Sorry, I couldn't get a better picture than that. We know who is scarlet colored. All right. Bishops in purple, cardinals in red. That's how these people operate. All right. Yeah. And they also have the golden cup in their hand. Where is it? Yeah. There it is. Yeah, purple and scarlet and having a golden cup in their hands. You can see it through this picture here. On the right, having a golden cup in their hands. These are they. All right. So And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and upon her forehead was a name written.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth.
Was a name written, mystery. This is very important. Mystery, it is not so clear cut. Because remember, in the basket in the book of Zechariah 5, 2 women came out. All right? So, when you go to the book of Revelation 17, the things that pertain to the Catholic Church are the same things that pertain, are similar things that pertain to a religious order, a people, the nation, the country that they call Israel. That country has similar attributes, but what makes you see that the head woman is the Catholic Church is that the head religious order is the Catholic Church, is that she was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Plus, the woman has her own house in Babylon, the Vatican. All right? Israel has no house. They have no temple. All right? And verse 6, read verse 6.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyr of Yahusha. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
All right, so hear this now. The woman Rome, right? Roman Catholics, drunken with the blood of the saints. The saints were persecuted by the Romans, and millions of our people were martyred at the hands of the Romans. 70 AD, they say about 1 million people they killed. All right? The Apostle Shaul, the Apostle Paul, was killed at the hands of the Romans, was martyred at the hands of the Romans. Okay? So, two women, but this chief woman here are the Catholics. The Catholics are the chief religious orders in the world. So we went through this with some time before in another teaching. Let's go through it. The Great and Abominable Church, and that Great and Abominable Church will let us know, without a doubt, that this must be the Catholics, the Great and Abominable Church. All right. Read from verse 1, please. And it came to pass. Hold on, let me just reduce this thing here. Sorry, let me just reduce this thing, that you can see it a little bigger. Reduce and expand, reduce and expand. Who's that sleeping?
Need to make Sister Donnie.
So that's somebody sleeping. What motivation, what great motivation that is.
Our throat problem.
Oh, I thought you were snoring. All right. Chapter 13, verse 1.
And it came to pass that the angel spake unto me, saying, Look, and I looked and beheld many nations and kingdoms. And the angel said unto me.
All right, so this is coming from the book of Nephi. This is coming from the book of Nephi in the Mormon book, the book of Nephi. Go ahead. And he said, and the angel said unto me.
And the angel said unto me, What beholdest thou? And I said, I behold many nations and kingdoms. And he said unto me, These are the nations and kingdoms of the Gentiles. And it came to pass that I saw among the nations of the Gentiles the formation of a great assembly. And the angel said unto me, Behold, the formation of assembly, which is most abominable above all other assemblies, which slayed the saints of Allua, yea, and tortured them, and binded them down, and yoked them with a yoke of iron, and bringeth them down into captivity.
All right, hold this. Hold this. The formation of an abominable assembly. Yes? Which is most abominable, which slayed the saints of Allua. All right, these were the Romans, the Roman Catholics, and tortured them and binded them down and yoked them with a yoke of iron and bring them down into captivity. This is that abominable church, abominable assembly. Verse 6.
And it came to pass that I beheld this great and abominable assembly, and I saw the devil, that he was the founder of it.
The who?
The devil.
The devil was the founder of Christianity. But hear this. And we keep telling people that it's Satan's religion and they think we're blaspheming. All right? That is why we have the consistent 7 heads and 10 horns. It's the devil's assembly. Verse 7.
Can you scroll up a little bit? Thanks.
Yeah.
And I also saw gold and silver and silks and scarlets and fine twined linen and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots.
And I saw what?
Gold, silver, silks, and scarlets, and fine twined linen.
And I saw many harlots. Now, all of this, all of these things, gold and silver and silks and pearls and all of that, that is synonymous with the Catholic Church. Yeah, and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots. When you see many harlots, you know that that is Christianity. Verse 8.
And the angel spake unto me, saying, Behold, the gold and the silver and the silks and the scarlets and the fine twined linen and the precious clothing, and the harlots are the desires of this great and abominable assembly.
This is the desire. And we know that this is it. Gold, silver, silk, scarlets, fine twined linen, precious clothing. And the harlots are the desire of this great abominable assembly. Abominable. Right? This is Christianity for you. And verse 9 says,
And also for the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of Allua and bring them down into captivity.
Ah, the saints, the set apart ones of the Most High. Right? Our people.
Yes.
And they do it for the praise of the world. Why do they do it for the praise of the world?
Can destroy us.
Because the world hates us. Because as long as we are in captivity, the world is going to prosper. But when we are out of captivity and walking in righteousness, then we are going to be lifted up and they are going to be in captivity serving us. That is why the abominable churches and the religions are so important to them. That is why they have to put up a religious order in contradiction to the Most High's order, because that order is given to pollute the children of the Most High and to ensure that they continue to worship Satan. That is why those religions are given. And that is why we are held in captivity. That is why we are held blinded. That is why the religion of captivity is given to our people and they won't let us go. That is why they won't teach Israel. They won't teach who the people of the book are. All of those things. They just want to keep us blinded. All right? All right. So that was a great abominable assembly called the church. All right. So, the other woman of Babylon, why can we say that apart from the fact that everything that pertains to the description of the abominable Christian church applies to Judaism or the country they call Israel? Revelation 2 verse 9. Read, please.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
The synagogue of Satan. If we have an abominable church and Satan also has a synagogue, or synagogue, as it is pronounced. If Satan also has a synagogue, that means that Judaism is the other woman. All right? It's the other woman of Babylon. And we're going to see how powerful these people are throughout this earth. Yeah? That is the other woman that was in Zechariah 5, I believe. Okay? So, let's look at the second beast, just to see a coincidence of you. Second beast with two horns. Second beast of Revelation 13, verse 11. Read, please.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
The second beast is the religious beast. And here the religious beast has two horns. Two horns refers to two bases of power. So that's why I'm tending to believe that Judaism is, because Judaism is a whole different base of power. That will be one horn from the Catholics. All right? And if it was, say, Christianity does not exercise any form of power over the nations, but the Catholics do exercise power over the nations, and the Jewish also exercise power over the nations. Wow. Okay? So, to know what the religious power is for the second beast, we have to follow the trail of the 666, which I've done several times before. We're just highlighting it here to lay the foundation. Read verse 18.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
And so this is how we know that it's the Catholic Church, which is the whore of Babylon, because the number of the beast, 666, really tells us explicitly that it is Christ on a cross. Revelation 13:18, the 666 in Matthew 13:18 is chi zi stigma, the Greek chi zi stigma. Chi, an abbreviation for Christ. Z, which is an abbreviation for the letter Zulon, which is a beam from which anyone is suspended, which is a cross. And then we have stigma, which is now obsolete. It is a hole or mark pierced with a pointed instrument on the hands. So chi zi stigma is Christ on a cross. So that is how you know that the woman, the whore, another reason you know that the whore is the Catholic Church. Okay? But the 666 is also in Judaism. Their 6-pointed star has 6 mini triangles inside, and it has a hexagram which has 6 sides. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 666. All right? Not to be undone. Judaism, you can't leave them behind. All right? And we know they also use the Star of David in Christianity. The Catholics, where are we? Catholics also have their Star of David. So there's unity. All right, let me move it. There is unity between them. So I believe that Judaism is the other woman. All right? Now remember, we keep saying this. The religious second beast causes the first beast to be worshipped. And to be worshipped just does not mean that you bow down and worship him. It just actually means that you honor him above all. All right? So, Revelation 13:12, read please. Somebody whose fan is on. Could you please, whose is that, bro?
She just unmuted.
Okay, go ahead. Verse 12.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
That's how we say the second beast is always ushering in the worship of the first beast, even though he exercised the power of the first beast. And as we said before, it's very easy to worship the beast. Never forget that. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. And of course, we looked at that before to see how easy it is to worship the beast. So here's the first beast of Revelation 13. We have different teachings on this. The scarlet colored beast, all flags scarlet colored. This is the seventh head of the beast, the G7 nations, the nations that are the richest in the world, the nations that exercise control over the world, the nations who are ushering you to take this thing in your arm. All right? Canada, Germany, United States, Italy, France, Japan, and United Kingdom. These are the prime wicked of the world. All right, of course, the 10 kingdoms, the 10 horns are 10 kingdoms that will constitute the United States of Europe. Whenever this New World Order has officially set up itself, they are going to declare a 10-state United States of Europe, and those will be the 10 horns of the beast. All right, and notice this is all Europe. All Europe, they're all Edomites, except for this Nipponese. All Edomites. All of their flags, including the 10 horn nation, the nations of the 10 horns that will form the United States of Europe, all of them have one thing in common: scarlet colored. That red color, all of them, same scarlet. This is the scarlet colored beast, all right? So, the first beast of Revelation, the kingdoms of the earth. And remember we said worship, the worship was ushered in by the kingdoms of the earth. And when you worship the beast, the kingdoms of the earth, then you worship Hasatan. So we keep reiterating the worshiping of Satan is not only you saying, oh, I worship you, Satan, or whatever you may say, whatever they say. No, it is simply being a slave to the kingdoms of the earth. Right? As I use the example, striving to go back to normal. All right. First piece of Revelation 13. Revelation 13, 1 to 10. We're looking now at the kingdoms of the earth, the beast that is based on the kingdoms of the earth that we just show. We showed you them a while ago, and let's see the write-up about them. Revelation 13, 1.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
All right, coming up out of the sea means coming up out of the people, sea of people, right? A lot of people see this and take it literally. All right, it's a vision. Verse 2.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority.
All right, as we had looked at, I think last week or week before, this is similar to the beast. This is the kingdoms that were described by Daniel, like a leopard, like a bear, like a lion. This beast, this end time beast, is an amalgamation of the entire original kingdoms that were there before, coming back to life. All of them coming back in one big kingdom. So each one of these kingdoms, the kingdom of the leopard, kingdom of the bear, kingdom of the lion, they reigned at different times, one after the other. But this time now, in this day, all of them are going to be coming back together. Verse 3.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
All right, so his deadly wound was healed. We believe that this is Italy, Rome. It represents Rome. It's actually Rome, right? The kingdom of Rome. Had a deadly wound, the wound was healed, and Rome is now back up and kicking. Where are we now? Where we just looked at it before. Right in the middle there. Is it any coincidence that he's in the dead middle? The Roman. Green, white, and red flag. Rome. Deadly wound was healed. Where are we again? Oh. How do I reach here? Or did I reach here rather? Uh-huh. All right. Verse 4.
Oh, can you share?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
seeing it.
Yeah, verse 4. No, what am I doing? Yeah, there's music playing in the background disturbing. You're hearing it, brother?
No.
Oh, good. All right, verse 4.
Okay. Looks a bit funny.
Does?
Wait, well, no. I'll work with it. Okay, verse 4. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?"
Continue.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
So this beast only has 3.5 years. Yeah?
Yes.
This beast has 3.5 years. We don't know when the 3.5 years has begun or will begin, but we know we are right in the region, end time region, when we see the beast giving us the mark. All right. Because we know, as we have pointed out before, that the beast, let me go there. Oh, I see. What's happening here? I don't know what happened. Let me stop the share. All right, what you're seeing? What are you seeing on the screen now?
The 7 that's
Oh,
gonna
okay.
get a whooping.
Yeah, the 7 whoopies. All right. So, all right. Yeah, so we were here.
Yes, in the scriptures.
Yeah, that's it now. What are you seeing there?
You're back to the scripture, Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And it looks good.
Verse 6.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Allah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
All right, so he's gonna come really playing out against the Most High. Because we know that this is what these people are doing in this end time. They are gonna be straight anti anything to do with the Most High. Verse 7.
And it was unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
All right, so hear this now. This is what you're saying to people. We are going to be at the mercy of these people. We're not going to have any power against them. Trust me on that. We're going to be powerless against them. So the best thing to do, take care of yourself, as we say in Jamaica. Take yourself away from them, because it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. This is the new world order here. You see it? Power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. You see that?
Yeah.
Power was given him over everybody, every nation, all nations, which means one world order, the same thing that they are doing in this earth today. Never before in the history of the world has the entire world, every single nation come together in one accord, except at the Tower of Babel. We are at the Tower of Babel one more time. Verse 8.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
So because he has been given power over all kindreds and tongues and nations, people are going to say, who is like him? We have to just surrender to him. Yes?
Yeah.
I have to just take, I didn't want to take the injection, but I have to work. So I have to take it. All right? People are going to be surrendering to him. Okay, but verse 9.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
So what is he saying? What do you think he's saying this? If your name not written in the book of life, no matter how much you think you have the Most High, no matter what you think you have Yahuwah, no matter how much you think you have your JC or your Allah or your anything, whomever, if your name is not written in the book of life, you are going to worship the beast. That's why it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. And verse 10 says,
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
so regardless of what we are going through, we have to be reassured that they are leading into captivity and killing in the end, they are going to get it back. And so the saints will be patiently waiting for their recompense. Yes, will be faithfully and patiently waiting for their recompense. All right? So here's the thing now. Here's the thing. Satan is a counterfeiter. Whatever the Most High puts up or sets up, Hasatan sets up a counterfeit equivalent. All right? So he is a deceiving copycat. So guess what? The Most High's people, the Most High's children are in captivity. The Most High has a set apart people, a nation called Yasharal. What did Satan do? Satan set up a counterfeit people and called them Israel, and set up themselves in a place they call Israel. All right? Counterfeit. And Satan, because Satan has deceived the whole world believes that these people are the people of the book. Satan has deceived the whole world. So Revelation 2 verse 9 tells you about those who say they are Jews and are not. Then Revelation 14, 12 to 14 tells you that Satan says he wants to be like the Most High. So because he wants to be like the Most High, he sets up a counterfeit people and claims them to be the people of the book. Then he riddles them with false doctrines and with satanic doctrines, and let the world believe that this is holy and this is coming from the Most High. That's how they work. But the Most High told us in Revelation 3 verse 9 what is going to happen to them in the end. Revelation 3:9. Read, please.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
So these people who say they are Jews and are not, but do lie, they are liars. And God is going to show maybe about 5 or 6 of their lies to show you that they are liars. I will make them to come and worship before thy feet to know that I have loved thee. That's what's going to happen to them in the end. So now, how do you know the real Yasharal from the fake Jewish? How do you know who is real from who is fake? Well, the most authentic way to know is the curses. And we can just use one curse to dismiss them all. All right? Just one of the curses. Because his people in the end must have gone through this curse and must have been waiting for their redemption. Deuteronomy 28:68. Read, please.
And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I speak unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and for bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
All right, so the Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ship. All right? I mean, Egypt is right next door to the place they call Yasharal. So why do they need to go over there in ship? They could walk. All right? They could walk. But Egypt, we use precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line here a little, there a little. Who shall he teach doctrine? Who shall he give knowledge? Precept upon precept. So, line upon line, let's see what Egypt means. Read, please.
I am Yahuwah thy Elohah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Egypt is what?
house of
Egypt is a house of
bondage.
bondage or the house of slavery. So when it
Mm.
says here, and Yahuwah shall bring thee into slavery again with ships.
Mm.
These people who call themselves Jewish, when have they been noticeably? When have they been brought into slavery with ships? As a matter of fact, they have helped to enslave us.
Oh.
Just like the Romans, they have helped to enslave us. All right? And we were sold for bondmen and bondwomen. The real Israelites were slaves, sold into slavery with ships. That's just one. Another thing, ask the Jewish, the Israelis, the fake Jews. Ask them, how do you know who is a Jew? What lineage do you use to know who is a Jew? And you know what they tell you, Ryan? Gabriel?
What's that?
They tell you that it is by the lineage of your mother.
Mm.
So, if your father is a Jewish and your mother is a Gentile, then you are a Gentile.
Gentile.
If your mother is Jewish and your father is a Gentile, then you are Jewish.
Mm.
But that is not what the Bible says. Verse 1, Numbers 1, verse 1.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum
Continue.
of all the congregation of the children of Yeshuel, after their families, by the house of their fathers.
But, by the house of what?
Their fathers.
An Israelite is
mothers.
accounted by father, not mother.
Mm. Papi.
And let's get a confirmation in verse 18. Where is it? Go again, verse 18. Get a witness.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
No. By the house of their mothers.
No, fathers.
Oh. Continue.
According to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
By the way, you become a man at the age of 20. No matter what man's laws tells you, in front before the Most High, you're an adult when you have reached 20 years old. Okay? Anyway, another one. When does the Sabbath begin? When does the Sabbath begin, Gabriel?
Morning.
Begins in the morning. The
Yes.
Jewish say that the Sabbath begins in the evening. Everything is inverted because Satan cannot operate in truth. We have to understand this. Therefore, I go any further. Satan cannot operate in truth. Therefore, wherever he operates, it has to be lies. That's why Christianity is laced with lies. Judaism laced with lies. He cannot operate in the truth. Divination does not work in the truth. Enchantment does not work in the truth. Sorcery does not work in the truth. Witchcraft does not work in the truth. There has to be lies. Okay? So that's why this religion has to be filled with lies. Let me continue. All right, so they say they are Jews and they were gathered back into the land. But who gathered them? Because the Most High said, the Most High told us that when the children of Israel are gathered, when they are gathered in the whole house of Israel will be gathered together. All right. Oh no. Where should I be now? Read verse 19.
Say unto them, thus said Yahuwah Allure, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Yeshurun, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mind and.
What the importance of this? That the house of Judah and the house of Ephraim, or Joseph, or the house of Israel, the northern kingdom, is going to be put together with the house of Judah. These people say they are Judah, and they are in the land of Yasharal. But the prophecy is that for the whole 12 tribes to be gathered together. So how come Judah alone is down there? Verse 20.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes.
Continue.
And say unto them, thus said Yahuwah Allure, behold, I will take the children of Yeshurun from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
So it's the whole house of Israel that's going to be gathered together. Verse 22.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yeshurun, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
And one king shall be king to them all, by the sure mercies of David, Yahushua HaMashiach. So that gathering that they have in there is false. It's not of Yahuwah. Okay? You're with me?
Yes, yes.
So let's look at another one now. Another of their lies. Zephaniah 3. These people are the richest people in the world, right? The Jews, as a people, are the richest people in the world. They control everything. They have so many billionaires they can't even count. Most billionaires in the United States are Jews. Verse 12 tells you about the end time people of Israel. Verse 12.
I will also leave into the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in
an afflicted and poor people. End time Israel is not going to be rich and controlling the world. And afflicted and poor, they control the world because they are Satan's children. Satan rewards his children for worship. Remember we said that? Mm-hmm. So those people who are not worshiping Satan, you'll not fare so well in this world. Yeah? You have to bow to Satan for him to reward you. So they are poor and afflicted, and they shall trust in the name of Yahuwah. Verse 13.
The remnant of Yeshurun shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
And what?
And none shall make them afraid.
Every now and again we hear war kick up over there. Hamas sitting there, and you see them bawling, you see them crying and everything. When we go back into that kingdom, no one's gonna make us afraid. Yeah? The poor and afflicted people are now gonna be protected and now gonna be exalted. These people are liars. All right? So I want you to get an understanding of this. Because remember that Christianity is based of these people being the true people of the book. You're with me?
Yes.
So if all your prophecies are based off a fake people, that means all your prophecies will be in error. All your prophecies will be in error. Where is? Sorry, I have to use my headphone because some loud music playing outside. Give me a minute, please. Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound better without it. Yeah, so all of their prophecies are going to be out, totally out, because they are focusing on the wrong prophecies. And not only that, they claim to be grafted into a Jewish tree. They claim to be. Christianity is therefore grafted into a fake olive tree. This is how Satan works. He gives false replicas of what Yahuwah has given. That's why he uses the scripture. He uses the scripture and then gives a false thing to match the scripture instead of the real thing. So Christians are grafted into the wrong olive tree. Christians take their money, billions yearly, and send it to that place they call Yasharal, building up the rich. Building up the rich, which is a sin. And rejecting and neglecting the poor among their people right at home. So let's read the similarities between Christianity and Judaism. Where was I? Oh, let me see if I can get it. All right. Is it up? Yes. Let's read it. The relationship between the church and Judaism. Read it, please, bro.
The church's relationship to the Jewish people is unique. During his historic visit to the great synagogue of Rome, Pope St. John Paul II said, "The Jewish religion is not extrinsic to us, but in a certain way is intrinsic to our own religion. With Judaism, therefore, we have a relationship which we do not have with any other religion. You are our dearly beloved brothers, and in a certain way, it could be said that you are our elder brothers." That was April 14th, 1986, speech at the Great Synagogue. The church's dialogue with the Jewish community is built upon this respect and gratitude. The recognition, its historical and theological in-depthness to Judaism and the Jewish people.
There you see it. The similarities between them. You even say you have a bigger brother.
Big brother.
Yeah? You are brothers. Now, this is why I believe that Judaism is the second woman. Another reason why I believe Judaism is the second one. But anyway, we're going to look at now them speaking about being grafted in. Because read, please.
As the sacred synod searches into the mystery of the church, it remembers the bond that it spiritually ties the people of the new covenant to Abraham's stock. Nor can she forget that she draws sustenance from the root of that well-cultivated olive tree, onto which have been grafted the wild shoots, the Gentiles.
You see that?
Yeah.
When I see this is what came to mind. They were grafted into a false olive tree.
Mm.
And what do you think the significance of this is? The significance is that they have been grafted into error. Even the SDA with the evening to evening Shabbat, still not able to see it. Almost all of churchdom recognizes these people as the people of the book. All of them have been deceived. And so the churches now say they are grafted into the olive tree. They are grafted into the olive tree of this Israel, not understanding the grafted in, being grafted in to the olive tree of the true Yasharal means being grafted in with the least people on this earth, the poor people of the earth, the poor and afflicted. And it brings a whole different meaning, not to the rich. So they were sending their money to the false version, and the people right home are in need. The true Yasharal that they should be blessing right home with them, and they have ignored them, ignored the poor, and sending to the rich. When you are grafted into Yasharal, you have to join yourself to his people. And joining yourself to his people is not a simple thing. Yes, it is simple, but it is not simple. It actually means that you have to actually help these people. If you can, you'll have to actually be with these people. You cannot be ashamed of these people. Right now, these people are going through their awakening. You have to help awaken his people. You have to be with his people. You have to join to them, mean you become one. So their concerns are your concern, and their shortcomings, you try to help their shortcomings. All right, you actually become a part of them. That's it. So, what an error. Right. So as I was saying, showing the two operate, the Vatican is responsible for spreading false worship throughout the world. That is what they do. All right. That is the abominable church. That is what they do. Spread false worship. All right. And they did this through the creation of Christianity, the abominable church. All right. They gave us their false gods that we take now and we swear by. You know, people, when you tell people about these things, people are like, that's why teachings like these are very important, because it lets them know and understand the trickery and the deception. When you tell people flat out, oh, God, that is fortune or chance, the God of luck. Like, no, I don't think so. God is God and no. Yes? They gave us all the gods of the nations. Psalm 96 verse 5 says, all the gods of the nations are idols. Jeremiah 2:11 says, hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? Yes? So all their gods are idols and they never change them. They never give them up. That's what it says. Why? Because Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahuwah's hand that has made all the nations mad. All right? So the Catholics created Islam. A lot of people say the Catholics created Islam. Yeah? But that is debatable. But anyway, they are those who are also engineering what you call Chrislam, an amalgamation of Christianity and Islam. All right? Remember, Vatican responsible for spreading false worship throughout the world. So now they are busy engineering the one world religion as well. They are going around saying, oh, there's more than one way to the Father. Not one way alone. Not JC, according to them alone. Yes? Spreading false religion worship throughout the world. All right? And spreading their false doctrines. All right? We have a lot of false doctrines that they have spread. Their Christmas is their Easter, their Trinity, the incarnation, and all sorts of things. Virgin birth, all sorts of lies that they have spread through their religion. All right, but on the other hand now, the Judaism runs the world from behind the scenes. It is actually Judaism that has done serious job in controlling. They actually control the world. Yes, these people. So while with this woman, while the Catholics are concentrating on religion, the Jewish are concentrating on the world. Let me get. And here we have a website here. Although some of the links are old, most of these are old links, but you know, the headlines just tell you the Jews run the world from the city of London. Power of the Jewish or stroke British Commonwealth over the world. United States government is run by the Jews who run Bush. This was a 2003 article. We're gonna run through this article to actually show you how powerful they are in this Babylonian system. The Federal Reserve and World Bank are owned by the Jews. The media is Jewish. Hollywood is Jewish. All right? The Catholic Church is owned and run by the Jews. Those are articles, right? The National Council of Churches is owned and run by the communist Jews. Freemasonry is Jewish. Communism is Jewish.
Wow.
The Illuminati is owned, run, and dominated by the Jews. The mafia is Jewish, not Italian. The pornography industry is Jewish. Black slavery was started and controlled by the Jews. The U.S. Council of Foreign Relations, CFR, is controlled by the Jews. The NAACP was started by and controlled still by the Jews. The Pentagon is controlled by the Jews. Jews behind illegal immigration. The legal and legislative profession is controlled by the Jews. So, here's one saying the Jews are the mark of the beast power of Revelation 13. Education is controlled by the Jews. Boy. But let's look at this article. United States government is run by the Jews. This is a 2003 article, but it is so profound in how it's laid out. You get to see that they actually do control everything. Yeah? And if they control Babylon, the headquarters of Babylon, then you know, this thing is really serious. Look at this. I want you to look at this. This was George Bush at the time. The Jews who run Bush and the USA. America's rulers, are they all Jews? Is this like the Jewish administration of Hitler's Germany? Speaking about when the Jews got their tentacles on Germany, that was what Adolf Hitler wanted to get rid of them. All right? The Jews in George II's cabinet. Who runs the Bush and the USA? This is a partial list of Jews in the Bush administration, March 26, 2023. All right, so we have the names, foreign policy advisor. Now, I'm going to look at the names, going to just look at their power. Deputy Defense Secretary and member of Pearl's Defense Policy Board in the Pentagon. Under Secretary of Defense and Policy Advisor at the Pentagon. Member of the National Security Study Group of the Department of Defense. You see that? This is defense, right? And we know this person, should be called Kissinger. We know this evil person right here, Henry Kissinger. One of many Pentagon advisors. He was a former Secretary of State exile, all right? All right, this one is what? Under Secretary of Defense, Comptroller and Chief Financial Officer for the Department of Defense. This is all defense. All right. And guess what? America is the bully, the world bully. He controls, is a military arm of Babylon. And if all of these defense portfolio are controlled by Jews, then you know what that means. All right, this one of many Pentagon advisors. He also sits on the Pentagon's Defense Policy Board under Pearl Defense again. Vice President Dick Cheney's Chief of Staff. All right. U.S. National Security Council Advisor. National Security Council Advisor again. Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs, Director of Policy Planning at the State Department, and Ambassador at Large, U.S. Trade Representative, Official White House Spokesman, Even this official spokesman was Pentagon advisor. Even the speechwriter, Deputy Chief of Staff, Under Secretary of State for Arms Control and International Security, Special Assistant to John Bolton, Under Secretary of Arms, Pentagon's Defense Policy Board. There's so much. President of the Exim Export-Import Bank of the US, Assistant Attorney General for the Criminal Division, Senior Advisor to the President. Watch here. White House Special Liaison to the Jewish Community, Campaign Special Liaison, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary, Assistant Secretary of Housing, Deputy Secretary of Commerce, Under Secretary of State for Management, Director of Foreign Affairs Institute, Ambassador. Look how many ambassadors. Jewish. Ah, boy. The NAACP, they control that. Washington Kurdish Organization, American Institute of Polish Change, American Emperor's Clothes, Asian Society. These people have their arms in everything. In everything. Look at that. Look at that. Mass media. Anyway, it's too much. Just to show you how the beast has its tentacles, how Israel, that nation called Israel, has its tentacles all over. All right? But just to say, as this will be a relatively short presentation, I think, yeah, just to say that we must get the understanding that the beast will attack the true and righteous children of Yasharal. This is very important. That's why when we tell people to move out of Babylon, they don't understand what we're talking about. Because they are coming after the holy people. They are coming at you. Don't think they're not coming at you. Daniel 12:6-7. Daniel 12, they are coming. That's why you gotta flee from the midst of Babylon. Daniel 12:6-7. Read, please.
And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the
Continue.
man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear up by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times and an half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished.
All right, it seems 3.5 years there. He shall scatter the power of the holy people. Holy people have to run up and down like they hear news. Holy people are going to have to be fleeing all over. Okay? Revelation 12:3-6, of course, tells us again what's going to happen again. Same scattering of the power of the holy people, Revelation 12:3-6. Read, please.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Read verse 5.
Okay. Can you scroll up some, please? Okay.
Yeah.
And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto a lure, unto his throne.
Verse
Okay.
6.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of a lure, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
All right. Flew into the wilderness, fleeing from whom? Fleeing from the face of the serpent. And verse 7.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach.
That's why we have to take ourselves away from them, right?
Yes.
The dragon is going to come hard. Hard. So we have to take ourselves away. Revelation 13, 7 to 10, the holy people. The holy people. Verse 7.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
All right, so putting all three together to let us know and let us realize that it's not going to be an easy stroll in the park. It's not going to be an easy stroll. For us as believers, we have to know what we are doing and we have to make conscious decision and we have to obey the word. Okay?
Yes.
And we have to flee out of the midst of Babylon. All right? So we know that Edom will be the end of the age. Can you see that in 2nd Ezra to read it, please?
Yes. 2nd Ezra 6, verse 7 through 9. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's end held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
Esau is the end of the age. This age is ending with this Esau here at the lead. You see them on top? The 7 heads? All right?
Yes.
They are the end of this age. And our people, Jacob, will be ruling the age to come. That is what we look forward to. We do not look forward to this time, to this age, to this world as it is. All right? Because the Most High will rescue Zion. Micah 4, 6 to 13. Of course, we're wrapping up, so we're just going back to some things that we did before. Just to Micah 4, 6 to 13. Yahuwah shall rescue Zion, because we are going to be, the power of the holy people in this end time shall be scattered. Why? We are not worshiping Hasatan. You're going to pay dearly for not worshiping Hasatan, because his wrath is going to come down on those who refuse to worship him. And how do you worship him? You will have to take his mark, the mark of the beast. So if you refuse to take the mark of the beast, his wrath is going to come down on you. Yes? So if you stay in the midst of his cities, of his towns, where he will be reigning supreme and he will be, he will have you right there, comfortably can come and access you at any time. If you are willing to do that, his wrath is going to come upon you and his wrath will have access to you. All right, the word says, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken about in Daniel, whosoever hear it, let him understand. When you see the abomination of desolation, it says, flee to the mountains. You have to take yourselves away from these people. And the Most High himself, he will rescue you. Verse 6.
In that day, said Yahuwah, will I assemble her that altered, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. And I will make her that altered a remnant, and her that was cast far off a strong nation. And Yahuwah shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth, even forever.
All right, continue.
And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Now why doest thou cry out aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perish? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail.
All right. So in the end time, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Be in pain. Continue.
Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahuwah shall redeem thee from the end of thine enemies.
In Babylon, you shall be redeemed. His people were at the time were in Yasharal. All right. Says thou shalt dwell in the field. So we are in Babylon, but we are told to flee from the midst of Babylon. Dwell in the field, and there the Most High shall redeem you from your enemies. Verse 11.
Now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of Yahuwah, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor.
All right. Continue.
Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto Yahuwah, and their substance unto Yahuwah of the whole earth.
All right. So everything will be turned over to us. All we have to do is just wait. All right.
Question on YouTube when you're ready, Brother C.
All right. So, Micah 2:10-13. Going to one of my favorite verses. Kick it out. Verse 10.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
This is something that we need to bear in mind. Arise and depart. It is not your rest. All right? The Most High has given us his promises. We cannot get his promises from these people. These people are the enemy, the wicked, children of Satan, who have been given to get us to stumble, to get us to walk away from the Most High and to walk in obedience to Hasatan, to give worship to Hasatan. This is not our rest. We got to leave it. Verse 11.
If a man walking in the spirit and falls with do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of his people.
Of this people. So people will be in error. All that are left, will be in error. But the righteous ones, verse 12.
I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Yasharel. I will put them together as the sheep of Boshab, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men.
All right, verse 13.
The breaker is come up before them. They have broken up and have passed through the gate and are gone out by it. And their king shall pass before them, and Yahuwah on the head of them.
The breaker, Yahushua Mashiach, Precious the breaker, is going to come and deliver them. But in the meantime, do not be afraid. Come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people. That is what the Most High says in Revelation 18:4. Come out of her, my people. This is not your rest. Arise and depart. All right? So here we have Babylon. We have Satan getting worship, using Babylon to get him worship, using a religious arm to get him worship, to usher people onto the money yeah, to worship people unto the kingdoms of the earth and the wealth of this earth. So the religions usher them to the leaders of the earth. And the religions usher them to worship the beast, to worship the kingdoms of the earth. All right. So all religions, all of man's religions are polluted. Every single one of them. Every one of them. The true belief in the scriptures is the way. It's called the way, where you walk in obedience to the Father's commandments through faith in his Son. Not a religion, not a camp. Yeah? It is just a way of life. That's it. That's it. Not a religion. Whenever you come to religion and do's and don'ts and everything, then you are liable to be in error, because religions just keep you in a box so that new truth cannot be absorbed by you. And this is why when you come to a lot of people in religion, they have that's why they have Christian apologetics. What they do, they train and practice to defend their belief. They do not train or practice to prove all things or to search the scripture to see if it is so. No, they train and practice to defend. So no matter what you say to them, they have to find something to defend. Of course, that puts them in a box, that puts them and lets them remain in ignorance. Because if they are wrong, they cannot be wrong. They cannot be wrong. So we have to just search out the truth, as I said before, because religion, man's religion, is going to give us lies. And if we do not seek out the truth, we are going to remain in lie, and one lie leads to another. Satan needs lies in order to deceive. He needs lies for his divination, enchantment, sorceries, witchcraft. He needs lies to deceive. And so what we need to do is to seek out nothing but truth and reject all the lies. All right? Okay. So, all right, let us hear from who's here? Let's hear from Brother
Don't forget
Mahar.
the question from YouTube.
All right, let me hear the question first, if I can answer it.
In fact, there's a question on a small note. She said her name is Heather Stewart, and she's been listening for about 2 months, and she have learned so much. The question is, what happened to people who know that the mark is, who know what the mark is, yet they continue to worship on Sunday and believe in the pre-tribulation rapture?
What will happen to them? Lies lead to lies. All right, the pre-tribulation rapture is already a destruction, because it is a pre-tribulation rapture that is making them not being able to understand the mark of the beast. Okay? So they're saying, oh, this can't be the mark of the beast because we're going to be raptured away. The pre-tribulation rapture just makes them feel that as long as they are Christians, they are going to be snatched away. Nothing to do with righteousness, and it keeps them in lawlessness. Yeah? Not caring, just waiting on the rapture. And that's it. They don't want to hear anything, nothing else, no knowledge, no wisdom, nothing. I'm a Christian, so I'm going to be raptured away. So that already has them in destruction. What was the other one again?
That was it. The second one was only a note telling who she is, and she's been listening for about 2 months, and she's been learning a lot.
No, you said rapture and worshiping on Sundays.
Yeah.
All right? Worshipping on Sundays is iniquity. All right? You are repeating that sin every single week. A repetitive sin is iniquity. Lawlessness, in other words. So again, the Messiah told us in Matthew 7:21-23, he tells us about lawlessness. Not everyone that says, Master, Master shall enter the kingdom of my Father, but he do not do the will of my Father that is which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, didn't I do many wonderful works, etc., and prophesy, etc.? And then will I say to them, depart from me, I never knew you, you workers of iniquity. So the Messiah told us explicitly that the workers of iniquity will be rejected. So it's not looking good for people who do those things, especially nowadays. We have social media, we have people interacting digitally. And I'm sure that almost all of these Sunday worshipers must have heard sometime in their life that the Sabbath must be kept. So they have already, by not keeping it, they have judged themselves to be guilty of iniquity. All right? But that pre-tribulation rapture, dangerous. All right? It gives them a sense of lethargy, making them despondent, making them not watch, just waiting to be raptured. Oh, he's going to break the sky and then we're going to be taken up into heaven. All right? So when the mark of the beast now is being given out in this world, they're like, oh, let's take it. That's why Christians run and take this thing so easily. Nothing's going to happen to me. This couldn't be the mark of the beast. I'm going to be raptured. Oh boy, serious. But what it is what it is. Any other questions, bro?
No, that's all I have from YouTube.
All right, you have any closing remarks? Let me see the time. You have any closing remarks?
Let's look back on Revelation 13 and 7 real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Is it? Oh, I'm not sharing it. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead,
And
Brother
it was
Gabriel.
given unto it, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
So when we see this verse, just for that person who might, or maybe their heart just keep an extra beat like, wow, he says all. I mean, where do I stand? You know, we can look now on Revelation 3 verse 20 real quick, because we have to understand, we must come to know who the Most High is, so we can understand what is going on here. Revelation 3 verse 20.
Go ahead.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
Okay, leave it there because we need 21 also. So when we read verse 7, and you know your heart might skip a beat and wonder if you will make it, because it sounds so very impossible. Then we look at verse 20 of chapter 3 and see what will happen. Behold, I stand at your door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. So if that is done, the next thing we're seeing here, to him that overcometh, will I grant to sit with me on my throne. So the next big word there is overcometh. So as long as we are doing the will of the Most High and we overcome the adversary, overcome all those things, overcome this wicked world, the thing that's going on in this world, overcome taking this job, then we can know that, you know what, we are on our way. Don't be dismayed. Don't be deceived anymore by thinking that your name is not there or your name will not be called. What we are supposed to be doing is to identify the way how we are living. If our lives are matched up with holiness and righteousness, it is just for us to continue to push to the end. Never ever back down saying that I won't be in it, because the word says all these things will happen. Just continue to push to the end. Let it be our life to push to the end. That is it. Because if we pull back, that is our answer that, you know what? Hey, maybe I will not be in that number that will make it. When we look and see that the amount of people that will perish is like the wave of the sea, and the amount that will be saved is like a drop. It is time for us to give up everything from this world, every single thing, and rush, take cover, because these things are going to happen. We can have a clue of where we at by the way how we live our lives today. We have to give up everything on this world. Just drop it, seek the Most High in all things, denying everything we have, leave them behind. What Job said, naked I come, naked I shall go. So whatever it is, just drop it. Seek the Most High continuously, forever. So when that time comes, we shall hear our name called from the book of life. So please be encouraged and believe this gospel that we are at the end of the age.
Okay, bro. How do we overcome Revelation 12:11? This will help in what you're saying. Go ahead.
And
Brother
they
Gabriel, go ahead.
overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
There it is. So
Powerful.
even unto the death, we are supposed to be ready and prepared to die for the sake of righteousness. Let's not hold on to this life, which is meaningless. We need to push forward, sticking to the plan by obeying the Most High in all things. So in the end, we might just hear our name, that king down by Nineveh. He wasn't sure if the Most High would forgive them, but he rushed. He said, hey, come together. Let us fast. Let's come, animals, everyone come together. Peradventure the Most High might forgive us. And we see what happened. So we also can do the very same thing. Let's just finish with this world. Flee Babylon, because it is an environment that was designed by the wicked. The Most High have his design, and the devil went and do a carbon copy, and many are just believing in the lies. So wake up, stay awake, get ready, and stay ready. That is it.
All right. Okay. All right. Kazak Aliyahu here. Thank you once again for watching. And please like, share, and comment on our videos. We have a whole lot of other videos for you waiting on our channel or on our website, justaword.tv. And don't forget, we have our 24/7 radio station, Just a Word Radio.com. Okay?
Brother C.
Yeah.
One question
Yes, bro.
just came in from YouTube. One more question just came in.
Yeah.
The question says, let me open it. Flee to another country, flee to the outskirts to the city, or flee spiritually from participating. We feel stuck because we don't want to CV test to leave. We don't want, I guess it means the CV test to leave. Do you understand the question?
Yeah. What was our flee? Here it is. A lot of people are waking up late. And a lot of people are seeing the consequences late. But oh boy. I'm sorry you weren't here before. We have been speaking about this thing long before this CV test was a problem. Long before, but most people were there in this world. And I guess listening to other people who were not aware of all the dangers. So what do? I cannot ever recommend that people go and take that test. Never. That's why I tell people, when people talk about fleeing, I say, I can't recommend that you take that test. None at all. All right? So, the question, flee spiritually. Or how do you flee spiritually? Because you have to understand how these people are. What you have to understand how they are going to come. They're going to move from door to door. All right, you have fled spiritually, but you're still going to be there. They're going to, people are warning all over that they are going to be a shortage of food. You're going to be in the midst. Where are you going to get food? Yeah? Of course, you know the Most High can provide. We know all of that, but we are just thinking out off the bat. Or off the bat, all right? Or internet has become unstable. Yeah. So you have to think about that. So, and also you have to think about the Most High had warned us to flee out of the midst of Babylon. And he didn't only warn us to flee out of the midst of Babylon, he told us, he made stipulations. When it was time to flee, he says, if you're on the housetop, don't even bother go down in the house. You just go and flee. If you're in the field, you don't bother leave the field and go back into your house. You just run. That's what he said. Yes? So that means he already told us to run. But most of us were not watching, we're not looking. Most of us found out late. I know. Most of us found out late. But what can I say now? What I can say is that as far away from society as you can go, anyone, this is what I recommend to anyone. Go somewhere where you can plant. Somewhere where you can be isolated from society. Isolation, that's the best thing. Somewhere where you don't have a lot of people, where probably don't have no people at all. It will be a good thing now to try and form a community, and several of you go and try to make it work, because I don't want to be here when these people make this thing mandatory. When they say you can't buy and sell, starvation, then they're going to come with their police. It is mandatory now, so it's going to be against the law. Yeah? It's going to be against the law. And they're going to have proof, and you're going to be checked. What happens when they don't get it? You're going to go to jail. So you have to think about all of these things. Yeah? I don't know if you pick up sense out of the nonsense what I'm saying, but you just have to think about all these things. And that's what I'm thinking about far ahead of what is happening. I bet it's not very far, because you know it's not very far. So, I don't know. Can't recommend anyone taking the test, but I can't recommend anyone be a sitting duck either. And of course, there's a hope. The Most High said he will gather us, so hopefully he will gather us at the right time. Those of us who are stuck, hope he gathers us out supernaturally at the right time. Okay? But the word also says that the holy people shall be given into his hands. That means the holy people are going to have to suffer a little, at least a little, at their hands. So, I don't know. All right. So, any more, bro?
That is it.
Hello? Okay. All right. So please join us next week again, and please share this video, all right? And comment on it. All right. So from us here at Just a Word, on behalf of Brother Mahar and Brother Gabriel and Brother El Pedro and all the rest of those who presented and all the rest of our Just a Word family, just want to say, hey, I'm so small. Yeah, on behalf of the rest of the Just a Word family, just want to say, shalom, have a great day, and keep watching here on Just a Word. All right. And remember, we told you Just a Word radio 24/7. And I am on the morning show, Rising with Truth, from 7 a.m. Central until 12 p.m. Central every mornings, first days to 6 days. No, second days to 6 days, Mondays to Fridays, 7 to 12. All right. So join us then. Okay. All right. Shalom, everyone.